Salutations and hello! It's been a little while since I've done a Q&A video. In fact, I haven't recorded one since before I went on vacation. But here we go, a new Q&A, Q&A 15. That's 3 times 5. And my first question comes courtesy of Knotty Braydz. Question, answer in your next Q&A. I thought my dreads were tight. Why are they feeling looser lately? Dreadlocks go through a sort of cycle between you start your dreadlocks off, so you backcomb your dreads or you twist and rip your dreads, and then they feel really tight at the start, so you can backcomb them really tight or you can twist and rip them really tight, and then you go, hey, they feel really tight, and then over time they're going to loosen up. So once you start washing the backcomb dreads or the twist and rip dreads, they're going to start to fall apart and loosen up a bit. It's perfectly normal. It's not something to be worried about. The only time you want to worry about dreads coming loose is if they completely wash out and become back to just straight normal hair. What you're doing when you're backcombing or twisting and ripping, you're not creating the dreadlock, you're just taking that section of hair and knotting it together and holding those hairs together in their section, and then it takes months for those sectioned off knotted lumps to turn into dreadlocks. So when they're loosening up, it's not the dreadlock that's loosening up, it's just the section is relaxing a little bit. And once it's relaxed, the hairs can move a bit more, and then it's just part of the cycle between getting from loose hair to becoming tight hair in dreadlocks. And once they start maturing, once they start, shrinking up, tightening properly just from being left alone, that tends to just be continuous. They don't really loosen up much after that, unless you put conditioner in them, or some things can be kind of damaging to dreads when they're young, like conditioner. If you put some conditioner in mature dreads, it's not going to do a whole lot unless you really cake it and do a lot of conditioning. But with young dreads, you really are going to want to stay away from conditioner. Too much apple cider vinegar. ACV is a conditioner, so if you're using that really regularly with young dreads, that can loosen them a bit. But if you're just leaving them alone and you're being patient, they'll tighten up. Next question from Joe S. Question, is it better to start neglect method dreads when your hair is fairly short, or should someone wait until their hair is on the longer side? If you've decided you want to go with neglect dreads, you just start. You don't have to wait until your hair is longer, you just stop brushing your hair. It's not like, hey, my hair is short now, I'll start neglect dreads in 6 months when my hair is longer, so I'll just continue to brush my hair for 6 months and condition my hair. When you decided you want neglect dreads, you just stop conditioning and stop brushing your hair, and then just let them do their thing. It's going to go a lot faster if you have long hair, but it's not worth continuing brushing and conditioning your hair while you wait for it to grow. Josefine Berggren. Question, both me and my boyfriend started dreads about 6 months ago. Mine are doing really well, but he's getting a bit of lint near some of the roots. Can I help him to remove it, and how does he prevent it? I have a video about this stuff, and it's called Dreadlocks, Lint, Dust and Fluff, and that's just basically all stuff that gets stuck in your dreads, and it tends to be related to residue. I mean, you can get just lint in your hair if you're laying on dusty pillows or going in dusty places, but mainly you're going to start to get lint building up in the dreads if there's residue there, because the residue is kind of sticky. It gives something for the dust to stick to. If you've got it, the best thing to do is to just do a deep clean. I'll put a link for that down in the description, and that will take all the sticky residue and stop it from being sticky and allow it to be washed out, so it won't be there to collect dust anymore. If it's a continuous thing, if it keeps coming back, then he'll probably want to look at what he's washing his hair with, but I assume that since you're in a relationship, you have a boyfriend and a girlfriend with dreadlocks, you're probably washing with the same stuff, using the same shampoo, and only he's getting it, then I would think maybe your technique for rinsing the dreads is maybe better than his. Maybe he's not rinsing all of the soap out properly. I know it can be quite difficult if you don't have a very good shower, like if the shower's just, it can take a long time to rinse it all out, but lots of squeezing and soaking through will help take the soap and get it out of the dread, and then it won't stay there to collect dust. But if you're both getting it and you're both using the same soap and you are rinsing really thoroughly, you might want to try different soap. Or maybe he's using more soap than you, that's another one. The more soap you use, the longer it's going to take to rinse out. So look at what soap you're using, look at how much you're using, and make sure you're rinsing it out thoroughly. I have a question from Jonas Hägg. Question: hey, I've still pretty young dreads and there becomes very loose when I'm swimming and stuff, but I'm trying not to worry about that. To my question then, usually I sleep on my back and I'm moving around a lot while sleeping, so my dreads in the back of my head have started looping and becoming really short. What should I do about this? I've tried sleeping on my side, but I always end up waking up on my back. It's normal for them to shrink up and become loopy. That's a sign that they are, you know, compressing, tightening, getting mature. I have 2 videos on that. There's Dreadlocks Shrinkage Explained, put a link down here in the description, and also Dreadlocks Loops, Lumps and Bumps, and I'll put a link down here for that too. And that basically goes through both of your problems, but in a nutshell, as the dreadlocks get older, they tighten up, and they don't tighten up at the same speed. Like different parts of the dread will tighten at different rates, so if this side tightens faster than this side will go this way and tighten up, and they'll push the other side out and make a loop or a lump or a bump. It's normal, there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, you don't want to do anything about the shrinking. The shrinking is the dreadlocks maturing. The loops and lumps and bumps and whatever, I personally would recommend leaving them alone, but some people will crochet those back in, which is maybe something you'd want to consider if it's really bugging you. The only reason, again, that they're doing it faster on the back of your head is because they're getting more friction and more movement when to knot up. When Reptile Madman, question: is it dangerous to wear beads? It's not dangerous to wear beads. I have a video on beads, I'll put a link for it down in the descriptioning area here. It's not dangerous to wear beads. Pretty much everyone who has dreadlocks has had at least a bead in their hair at some point. The main problem is when you're washing and drying, so if you take the beads out when you wash and dry, then you won't have any problems. But if you leave it in when you're washing and drying and you put soap in your hair, and let's say there's a bead here, the soap will run down the inside of the dread and get sort of stuck behind the bead. It can't rinse out properly and then get stuck behind the bead, so you get like build up, and if you don't take the bead out when you're drying the hair, it won't get dry under there properly, or it won't get as dry as fast as the rest of the hair. I really recommend taking them out when you wash the dreads, especially if you're going to shake them dry, because you'll hit yourself in the face with the bead and it's kind of painful. Those are my 5 questions for today. If you out there in internet land have a question that you would like me to answer, you can leave it in the comment section. You have to start your comment with the word question, because otherwise, I said this 16 times now, you have to, if you don't write question at the start of the comment, then I'll type out a response. Also, don't leave your question comments on other videos. I've seen on some of my other videos, like my washing and drying video and whatever, people are leaving comments with the word question at the start. So to leave me a question, leave it in a Q&A video, write question at the start. I will answer anything, pretty much anything dreadlock related, anything me related. I don't do politics questions or religion questions. I just thought I would say that again, because some people have tried to ask me those questions and I've had to say to them I don't do politics or religions questions, as mentioned in my original post your questions video. Plenty more dreadlocks information on lazydreads.com. You can find me and my stuff at facebook.com/lazydreads, and you can contact me and tweet me on Twitter, which is twitter.com/lazy_dreads, because twitter.com/lazydreads is someone else. That's not me, that's just some person that probably won't appreciate you asking them dreadlock questions. I mean, I don't know. I don't know them. Thank you for watching. Farewell. Goodbye.